Hello everyone, my name is Marcus DiBattista. I'm a PhD student here at the University of Georgia, and my PhD is going to be in mechanical engineering. And so as a part of that, I've been very involved in additive manufacturing as an emerging technology that's actually shown some really good promise, especially within the realm of manufacturing enterprises. So that's what the Georgia AIM project's all about, and so that's what I'm going to be showing you here today. So I can give you one example of something that is 3D printed or used additive manufacturing, and that is this wrench right here. So this wrench was actually 3D printed in one piece and is a completely functional crescent wrench. So that is something that, that is a good example of something that's 3D printed, but there's actually a lot of really cool potential that people don't really realize sometimes. So for example, if I need to make a fixture for something that is like a tool that's going to be used on my assembly line, for example a screwdriver right here, I can create a custom fixture for that screwdriver so that it's very easily accessible for any of my assembly line workers. And that can be pretty much used in any other case for any other type of tool that you might be using on your assembly line. Another example for that is what you're going to see later in our IoT demonstration is a load cell, for example, where you can collect the weight of a certain bucket, right? So a bucket would go on this right here, and it can measure the weight of whatever's inside of it, right? So let's say you have 5 pieces of inventory parts in that bucket. It'll be able to tell that there's 5 things in that bucket based on the weight, right? And I can use additive manufacturing to mount this weight sensor to whatever I want to, right? So let's say I have something like this. I have a custom station that I'm using to manufacture a wrench or a screwdriver or something. Then I can tailor that specific station to whatever I'm manufacturing at that station. So that is one way you can really streamline your process and make your process way more efficient using the tools provided by additive manufacturing. And by the way, if you don't really know what additive manufacturing or 3D printing is, it's really just a really quick and easy and cost-effective way to create 3D models of something that you have in real life, right? So, for example, this thing right here started out as a 3D model on a computer, but when I 3D printed it in real life, now it's a ratcheting screwdriver that actually works and has multiple parts. So the bounds and the limitations of 3D printing kind of extend to what you can use it with, right? So polymers and plastics are really the only things that really cheaper and more inexpensive 3D printers can do right now. But you have more expensive 3D printers that can print in metals or composites or very much harder or higher temperature materials as well. They are more expensive, but you know, those are just more expensive processes and more expensive materials in general. So another great application that you can use 3D printing for is rapid prototyping. So if, let's say I'm a phone case manufacturer, right, and I'm trying to create a phone case for the next generation of iPhones that are coming out, well, I can 3D print that before I make a mold that will be very expensive, and if I don't get I can't use it, right? And that's a very expensive loss for a company. So what I can do is I can 3D print that phone case, and then I can test it on my phone to see if it'll actually fit right. And that is just one of the many applications of rapid prototyping that you can see. But I thought that was a pretty simple one that's pretty easy to convey. So what this machine's actually doing is layer by layer, it is depositing a string of material, or plastic in this case, until it gets all the way up to the top of this. And so by doing that, you can pretty much make whatever you want. There's very, very few limitations to what can be created using a 3D printer. And that's really something that has added to the capabilities of not only capabilities of regular manufacturing, but also prototyping and all of that. Some things, I mean, really can only be made using some geometries, and some parts can really only be made using additive manufacturing because of the constraints that some normal manufacturing methods actually have. So another thing that you can actually do with a 3D printer, or pretty much any machine that you have, is you can connect it to a dashboard internet, right? So this 3D printer just happened to already have all of these sensors and already have internet capabilities, but you can also do this to your old machines and basically create a custom dashboard. This is a completely custom dashboard using a program called Home Assistant. And what you can do is you can display whatever important features or important parameters of your process in real time. And you can display it in a way that makes sense for people to read and can allow for your best scenario of visualization. So for example here, I have all of my temperatures, I have my relative humidity, which are both very important parameters for the printing process, as well as I have some controls here. I can control the speed of the printer, I can control it, it's pausing, I can pause it, I can cancel the print if it failed, and I can also see the progress and what layer is on. As well as a live feed of the camera, so I can actually see what is printing in real time. So if you have a bunch of these, you can have a screen completely full of all of your printers printing, and so you can see in real time, kind of like you would see in like a security camera database, right, where you have like 20 screens of all around your facility. You can have 20 screens of all of your 3D printers and how they're actually doing. Now you can even extend this further and use AI or machine vision to monitor your prints for you. And so how you can do this is you can have an algorithm running in the background connected to your video feed, and you can train it to recognize when a certain failure, right? And this isn't just limited to 3D printing, by the way. This can be for any kind of process. But within the realm of 3D printing, you can make it detect if it did a certain layer right, or if it sees filament going everywhere, or if your part comes off the build plate or something like that. So there's a lot of really cool potential within additive manufacturing and 3D printing in the manufacturing realm. And so really at the end of the day, this is a really cool emerging technology that you guys will probably be seeing a lot more in the very, very near future.